Hey guys, it's Hat Guy with the picks. It is early morning. Yesterday, well, we had SMU. They went into halftime 13-10. And I don't think they told them before the game that they were going to have to play 2 halves. Because they didn't show up. And it made me sick to my stomach. You know me, no excuses. Our record went to 16-8-2. I gave away a nice chunk on that game too. Right now we're sitting at 66.6%. And today is an NFL game. So far in the NFL, we have 1 loss, 1 push, and the rest wins. I had to go back and see the last time that we lost an NFL game, and it was the nighttime game of the Chargers and Chiefs when Hilaire broke free and slid down with less than 3 minutes to go, and Chargers came back and backdoored us. That was the last loss that we took. And the push in the NFL that we had was the under in the Bills. Was the under in the Bills game when it was Bills Titans. It was I don't know, but it pushed and it felt like an absolute loss to me. Tonight we got Colts at 1-2-1 traveling to Denver at 2-2. This line opened up at 3.5. It sits at 3. Total opened up at 44 and it sits at 42. I don't know if this is going to be a big fan favorite when it comes to what I'm about to give out. But I like it a whole bunch. What we do know about this game is Jonathan Taylor and Shaq Leonard will not be playing for the Colts, and Javonte Williams will not be playing for the Broncos. Now, 2 days ago, Melvin Gordon was questionable, leaning towards doubtful for this game. And now the offensive coordinator came out and said that he will be our lead back. I don't know if that's good or bad. Colts lost to the Titans last game, 24-17. In that game, they let Matt Ryan air it out. And it was about time. He threw for 356 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. They only ran the ball 23 times, and Jonathan Taylor didn't go out until into the 4th quarter. I think Colts may have found something in that game a little bit later. Obviously, in that game, Taylor got injured. Titans put multiple defenders on Pittman the whole game, and they held him in check. But Ryan had a real good connection with the rest of his receivers, and especially the tight ends. You had Ali Cox and the other kid, I can't even remember his name right now, but they combined for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. This game coming up for the Colts, Nyheim Hines is going to be the lead back for the Colts this week, which usually Nyheim Hines handles all receiving duties out of the backfield. Matt Ryan has thrown the ball 74 times in the past 2 weeks. 74 times in the past 2 weeks. The Colts, they have the highest paid offensive line in NFL. And late in that game, I think they figured out that they're not real good at creating holes and gaps for Jonathan Taylor this year for some odd reason. But I think what they got a little hold on late in that game was they had really good protection for Matt Ryan in the second half. I almost feel like they dedicated it more towards Matt Ryan in the passing game than they did to their stud, Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. I see the Colts. I see them coming with the same game plan that they had in the fourth quarter. Now, they haven't had many days to do much. Well, I mean, 3 days is plenty for pros. But I see him coming out with the same game plan with just a couple more pass attempts for Matt Ryan. Denver last week, they got beat by the Raiders on the road, 32-23. Russell Wilson looked really good last week with his arms and legs. He had 266 total yards, and he was responsible for all 3 touchdowns in that game. Now, he hit 8 different receivers in that game, and even looked like the old Russ a little bit with using the legs. He had 30 yards rushing and a touchdown too. That was good to see. Denver had 3 scoring drives in that game against the Raiders. Scoring drives of 75, 75, and 35. And the average scoring drive took under 2 minutes. The stuff that I'm saying may not mean a lot to you, but it means a lot, trust me. What did kill Denver last week was their defense couldn't stop anybody out of the backfield or Raiders' number 1 wide receiver. They gave up 212 yards to Jacobs and company. They were letting them go at 5.6 yards a clip, which is just huge. And they gave up 9 catches for 101 yards to Devontae Adams also. So, I mean, they weren't stopping anything. I mean, anything Raiders wanted to do, they did. So basically, Denver left the defense on the bus and didn't realize that the offense was ready to take the game by the horns and run, because they weren't. But they will be. I expect the ball to be in Russ's hands a lot more than normal tonight. Melvin Gordon is averaging 3.4 yards a carry, and he has 4 fumbles in 4 games. Now, obviously, they got Mike Boone also. He was a big pickup on waiver wire this week. I don't know why, to be honest with you. But I expect Russ to have the ball in his hands a lot more than normal. Instead of running the ball, I see him hitting short outs. I see him getting the tight end a little bit more involved this week. They got a great young tight end that just hasn't been utilized at all. I see him coming into the picture this week also. I just can't possibly think that Denver would be confident at all with keeping the ball in Gordon's hands. I know I wouldn't be. To be honest with you, in this game, I think whoever gets the kickoff goes right down the field and puts points up on the board. I don't know if it's going to be a touchdown or a field goal, but I see him going right down the field and putting points up on the board, either side. And then I see that going back and forth for a while. Denver with some quick strikes, I can see Naeem Hines having a real nice game, not rushing the ball, but receiving the ball. I think he's going to be a big compliment tonight. Of course, Surtain's going to be running around trying to keep up with Michael Pittman, and he probably will. But I mean, they got Alec Pierce is a big wide receiver. I mean, Pittman's a big wide receiver. So I mean, Mo Alley Cox had a huge. I mean, they got some big weapons on the Colts side, and I'm pretty sure, I'm about 95% sure that the coaching staff is letting them. They're about ready to let them just take the chain off and let them run. They got to be going for damn near broke. I mean, 1-2-1 with the expectations that they had coming into this year. I mean, I see them not being conservative in this game. I see Denver not being conservative up to a point also. They need to put some points up on the board at home to get back in good graces with their fans. I think this is an absolute perfect spot where they finally put some points up on the board and let the rest of the league know, yeah, we're a 500 team coming into this game, but we're looking to add to it and to stretch out our offense a good bit. And I see Sutton and Judy. I see him having a real nice game tonight. I really do. I see both offenses opening up, and we finally have a game at night on national TV that goes over the total. It's been a while. Listen, I've been on under on every Thursday night game if it wasn't a side, Monday night game if it wasn't a side, and most of them were Sunday night games if it wasn't a side, and they mostly were unders if you go back and check. Well, tonight they flipped the switch. They flipped the switch, and we get an over. The play is take over 42 in the Colts-Denver's game. We're going to get that record back up to 69.5% after this game. We had a slight dip last night. We get back up tonight. Gosh, thank you for everything. Thank you for the comments, the likes, the subscribe, everything. Just continue to do it. I'll continue to bring you good content with high percentage winners. Guys, until I get back to you, you already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back to getting this cash.